of a sentence, Tim. Bester, Boar, Boopid.
What?
I don't understand.
Nestor, you're stupid.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying.
Why would I be stupid? You said nobody's got a glass. This is my beer comes in a glass.
They're bottles, douche.
That would be glass
I'm
bottles.
not pouring beer from one bottle to another bottle. I'm not in high school.
All right, welcome back to the
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah. Welcome back, fight fans.
Family. That's something a high school kid does, and it's warm in high school too. Tomorrow night, Hollywood, Florida, ESPN 2 Friday Night Fights. Glen Johnson, who used to be called Glencoff Johnson, but anyway, same guy.
He looks like he's about 80 years old.
Against Daniel Judah. This is going to be the rematch. 10 rounds light heavies. Also, Jesus Pavon against Lenin Arroyo. Norberto Gonzalez against Antoine Smith. And there actually is a fighter named Habib. Habib Alhervdiev against Richard Pitt. That is all tomorrow night on Friday Night Fights.
Well, we asked for the big names, and Glen Johnson, Glen Johnson now, as you said, is one of the bigger names. He gets in the light heavy division. Doesn't have a title. He's the guy right below.
Yeah, everyone's scared of him.
Yeah, he's right.
That's
below
probably why he
everybody
changed his
that has a
name.
Title.
People wouldn't know who he was.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's Glen Johnson. It's cool. We can fight him.
I mean, Tarver, Dawson, all those guys have had great fights with him.
Yeah.
And we're going to see.
He knocked out Roy Jones.
Yeah.
Oh.
And not very many people knew about that fight either. So
No, I did not see that fight when it happened.
I did not.
I
Either.
saw the Tarver fight when it happened because I was at Tim's house and I couldn't believe the fight was over already.
And then he lost again, and everybody's like, for some
Roy's
reason,
done.
nobody even seen that. You know, that wasn't as heavily publicized. You know, and Glen Johnson at that time. I keep calling him Glencoff, but that's
Well,
what
wasn't
he
it
was called
Glencoff
before.
at that time?
It was Glenn. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
At that time, not very many people even knew who he was. I mean, recently he's built his way up through the ranks and has got some bigger fights, but he's still a very avoided guy, and you never look good. The top guys never look good when they fight him.
No, you cannot look good fighting Glen Johnson. He's got a really tricky style. He's got almost an impenetrable defense, and he hits really hard with both hands. You know who I'd love to see? I mean, when Bernard Hopkins was gonna fight Tarver, I totally was behind Glen Johnson getting that fight instead. That is one time where I can honestly say, man, Tarver, I don't know why you get the fights that Glen Johnson deserves. But you do. I don't understand.
And Hopkins is still looking for an older guy in the sport. He's looking not to beat up on the younger guys. So Hopkins
beat up on the young guy.
Well, he's not. I mean, he's a promoter as well, so he doesn't want to. He's thinking the future of the sport. He knows his career's almost over, and he beat Pavlik, and he feels that he hurt the sport a little bit by beating Pavlik, and he decided I can make money fighting older guys still. That's what I think I'm gonna do here, and he knows he only has a couple fights left. Glen Johnson would be a great fight for him. I mean, I'm guessing Glen's gonna win this fight against Daniel Judah.
I want to see Glen fight Bernard. What do I have to do to get that fight to happen? I wanted it a year ago.
Pony up.
Pony up, yep. Newark, New Jersey tomorrow night also on Showbox. The fight we've been waiting months for. Jonathon Banks is finally getting his title shot.
Kind of surprised it's on a Showbox instead of a main event Showtime championship boxing.
I kind of like this. He's taking on the champion for Thomas Adamek for Adamek Spring Magazine and IBF Cruiserweight title. Outstanding matchup.
But Showbox has always been known for the new generation.
Yeah, the new up-and-comers.
Which Jonathon Banks is.
But Adamek is not. Adamek is the champ. So you would think it would be on Showtime Championship Boxing, but
Jonathon Banks has not had much big-time exposure. He hits exceptionally hard with both hands, and it's weird. I've been saying that about a lot of fighters tonight, but we just happen to be showcasing fighters that are not left hook wonders or overhand right wonders. Everyone that I've mentioned, it really knows how to throw.
He works behind a great jab. And that's what you see in Emmanuel Stewart's fighters.
Bottom line, if you get to spar with Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko, you're going to have awesome camps. He has awesome training camps. He's always ready. He's totally undefeated. I think Thomas Adamek is in trouble.
I agree with you. I like Jonathon Banks.
Oh.
I think he's a hell of a fighter. He's scary.
What makes me nervous is Adamek-'s very quick. And he's surprised me how quick he was when I seen him in Chicago.
Well, all you have to do is ask Steve Cunningham how fast he is and how capable
And
Adamek
how much
hands
power?
are.
Yeah, how much power he has.
He's got that deceiving power. I mean, me and Nestor saw Adamek fight Paul Briggs in Chicago. Hurricane Briggs throws a lot of punches around, and they're so hard. Talk about a guy with a sledgehammer right. Well, that's what Paul Briggs is. Adamek knew exactly where in the armor to find the chinks and smack him. And
The bottom line with Adamek is he fights very entertaining fights.
Yes, he does. He's by no means a boring fighter. You'll never see a boring
Adamek. When you talk about styles make fights, it's very difficult to have a boring fight with Thomas Adamek.
Yeah. His defense lacks a little bit, which helps his
Which
fight.
makes it exciting. Look, he's getting hit.
$6 for that beer.
This is not a beer I will be getting again. That is, the first sip. I mean, all right. I'm not gonna give them free exposure.
Who else is on that card up there?
Giovanni Lorenzo against Dionisio Miranda. That's an IBF middleweight eliminator because that's what we need. Another IBF middleweight, mandatory. And that's pretty much anyone that anyone has heard of. So that is that. All right, moving on down because Saturday night we've got a fight that we've really been looking forward to too, and I've been looking forward to her. Saturday night, Houston, Texas, HBO. Juan Manuel Marquez is taking on Juan the Baby Bull Diaz. Baby Bull Diaz, good friend of Bolo Punch. We've had him on 2 or 3 times. A couple weeks ago, we had him on live from the airport, where he was he had just finished being photographed for the Everlast catalog. But this is for Marquez's Ring Magazine and vacant WBO and Super WBA lightweight titles.
Yeah, the WBO is the one that vacated. It was vacated by Campbell.
Yeah.
Because he didn't make weight.
Yes. This is one of those. This is one of those where Nate Campbell's going to be sitting in the front row.
And if you look at these two fighters, it's not a very easy fight to pick. Usually, you can look at most main events, and there's a clear winner in either one of them. I mean, Marquez had great fights with Pacquiao and
at a lighter weight.
His
best stuff was at Super Feather and Feather.
And you can. Juan Diaz had one off night.
One bad night, and he got thrown on the pile.
And everybody, all of a sudden, everybody thinks that he's not a great champion. I mean, it's hard. He proved last time I have to admit, raise my hand that I looked at him the same way, and I think I overreacted. I mean, his boxing fans, I think we tend to do that a little bit too much.
In what respect? I'm not following what you're saying.
Overreacted. I thought in the fight that he fought last time against who did he fight last? Katsidas. I thought Katsidas was going to win that fight. I thought Katsidas just his power, and I thought he was going to be able to wear Diaz out, and I was
because after you saw
they both just lost their first fight.
After you saw him lose, you figured he wasn't as good as we thought he was.
Yeah, and he just had a bad night, and a lot of fighters say that, but you just don't believe them. You're like, yeah, you're just not what we thought you were.
I have to say, I knew that Juan Diaz was going to beat Katsidas. I didn't know how he was going to. I mean, I picked him.
You picked him.
I truly.
That's why I said I had to raise my hand because a lot.
Well, yeah. I've been picking terrible picks for 6 years now. It's not hard to do.
I was one of the
Listen
guys.
to what I say, and you'll be fine.
I was one of those guys that overreacted on Juan Diaz, and I have to say that he proved it. And this is a very hard fight to pick. I am going to pick Juan Marquez again against him, but I think it's going to be a very close fight. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he only wins by one point or ends up being even a draw.
This fight will not be stopped. They will go all 12 rounds. It will be a decision. It will be a majority decision because one of the judges will have it a draw.
I think that Juan Diaz will flurry in the later rounds.
I'm going to go ahead and pick Juan Diaz to win a majority decision because one round will be a draw. Juan Manuel Marquez will not have a mark on